These are the readings for Easter, starting from Genesis. It's the whole arc of the whole narrative, right till the time of our Lord Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection. So the first reading is Genesis chapters 7, 8, and 9, not the whole chapters, but the essential part of the story. God said to Noah, "Now board the ship, you and all your family. Out of everyone in this generation, you are the righteous one. Take on board with you 7 pairs of every clean animal, a male and a female, 1 pair of every unclean animal, a male and a female, and 7 pairs of every kind of bird, a male and a female, to ensure their survival on earth. In just 7 days, I will dump rain on earth for 40 days and 40 nights, and I'll make a clean sweep of everything that I've made." Noah did everything the Lord commanded him to do. It was the 600th year of Noah's life. In the 2nd month, on the 7th day of the month that it happened, all the underground springs erupted and all the windows of heaven were thrown open. Rain poured for 40 days and 40 nights. That's the day Noah and his sons Shem, Ham, and Japheth, accompanied by his wife and his sons' wives, boarded the ship, and with them every kind of wild and domestic animal, right down to all kinds of creatures that crawl and all kinds of birds and anything that flies. They came to Noah and to the ship in pairs, everything and anything that had the breath of life in it, male and female of every creature, came just as God commanded Noah. Then God shut the door behind him. The flood continued 40 days, and the waters rose and lifted the ship high over the earth. The waters kept rising. The flood deepened on the earth. The ship floated on the surface. After 40 days, Noah opened the window that he had built into the ship, sent out a raven. It flew back and forth, waiting for the flood waters to dry up. Then he sent a dove. Then he couldn't find any place to perch. Then 7 days later, he sent the dove again. This time, the dove brought back an olive leaf, and Noah knew the flood was over. He waited thus 7 days, sent the dove out the 3rd time. This time, the dove did not come back. So in the 601st year of Noah's life, on the 1st day, the flood dried out, and Noah opened the hatch of the ship and saw dry ground. And by the 27th day of the 2nd month, the earth was completely dry. God spoke to Noah, "Leave the ship, you and your wife, your sons and your sons' wives. Take all the animals with you, the whole menagerie of birds and mammals and crawling creatures, all that breathing prodigality of life, so they can reproduce and flourish on the earth." Noah disembarked with his sons and his wife and his son's wife. Then God spoke to Noah and his sons, "I am setting up my covenant with you, including your children who will come after you, along with everything alive around you, birds, farm animals, wild animals that came out of the ship with you. I'm setting up my covenant with you, that never again will everything living be destroyed by flood waters. No, never again will a flood destroy the earth." God continued, "This is the sign of the covenant I'm making between me and you, and everything living around you, and everyone living after you. I'm putting my rainbow on the clouds, a sign of the covenant between me and the earth." And this was the first recorded covenant made between God and mankind, the rainbow. So next time we see a rainbow, remember this passage in Genesis, one of the very first. This is one of the first reading. It's going to be a series of reading leading up to our Lord Jesus' death and resurrection and Eastertide.